Welcome to scr1tno Knitting Project podcast. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family, 3 cats and a dog, so I'm pretty much guaranteed to get interrupted at some point during the podcast. Today is Thursday the 28th of November 2019 and this is episode 40. Wow, that blew me away when I did the notes this morning. Welcome if you're a new viewer, welcome back if you're a returning viewer. This is my podcast about my knitting project and I have got some new subscribers, so I thought I might just do a quick run through of what the knitting project is. Back in 2017 I had an awful lot of whips and I looked at them, and anybody who's watched this podcast for a while will know that I get cast-on-itis. In 2017 it really did get out of control, so I decided to try a rolling rotation of whips. And how this works is it's worked over 6 days, not 7, and this is because on some days I'm busier than others. So for instance, on a Tuesday I do guides, so I don't get as much knitting time, so any project that would fall every week on a Tuesday would hardly get any work done. So if I roll it by 6 days, it means different projects happen on different days. For instance, day 1 is socks, day 2 is shawls, which that will become apparent as I work through this. And my idea is, if I cast off, say, a sock, I can cast on another pair of socks. If I cast off a shawl, I can cast on another shawl. This year, to be honest, it hasn't really worked that way. There has been a lot of new cast-ons anyway. It's not been a good year for cast-ons. I have a lot of whips, but it would appear that odd years are my worst years because I cleared quite a lot in 2018. 2019 has been really bad. So I'm going to work through those today. If you are new, thank you so much for checking me out. I am really, really grateful. I know I did get a lovely shout out from Cherie, Ollie and Bella. And if you don't watch her podcast, please go watch her because she's absolutely lovely. And also I've got to mention on Mina, which is the Knitting Expat as well. So thank you very much if you're joining me from either of those. And thank you if you're just joining me randomly. I'm really, really grateful to have you here today. So first up is admin, and you can find me as scr1tno on Instagram and Ravelry. The podcast also has a Ravelry group, which is the scr1tno Knitting Project podcast group. Please do come say hi. We have a welcome thread. I have a questions thread. We currently have a knit along going on until the end of November, which is a stripy sock knit along. All the rules and regs are in the chatter thread, and I think maybe the finished object thread, but I'm not sure. There are a couple more days. Oh, actually, having said that, there won't be, will there? There won't be a couple more days by the time you see this, because this goes up on Sunday. As I record, there's a couple more days, but unfortunately, theoretically, by the time you watch this, I should have shut the thread. Reminder to myself to do that on Sunday. Now, on December, I'm going to have a little competition running, and it's not knitting related. So please do join me on day 1 of Vlogmas to find out what that is. I've had an idea and it's been sparked by a friend of mine, and when you find out what the competition is, she will know who she is. So do watch. I am going to do Vlogmas, so do watch me if you're interested into Vlogmas and you'd like to see what the competition is. Also, I will be carrying on with my regular podcasts. I'm going to try and do both. There may be a case of on a Thursday when I record there isn't a vlog, but I want to try and keep my Vlogmas videos to about 10 minutes. I don't do anything wildly exciting, to be honest. It's going to be very much my day, and if I have got anything exciting, maybe that one will be a little bit longer. But it will just be my Christmas traditions and what we get up to as a household. You'll see some of the girls, you'll see probably loads of the animals, particularly the cats, because if it's anything like last Christmas, they will be all over it. And yeah, it's just my general, what I get up to during Christmas. So that's admin. So day 1 is socks, and my current whip is hanging out in my little grey girl Christmas project bag. I had a bit of a problem with that one last week. And it is a pair of vanilla socks in this lovely yarn, which is called Hot Chocolate and Marshmallows. which is from Lay Family Yarn and was in the Christmas Eve cast on box, I think, last year. So I'm getting there. I did manage to get cast on before Christmas Eve this year. So pretty. And it came with a lovely little pink mini, which is that one. So such a pretty pink. I do like that pink. And then I've done the first sock, which is this one. Now it's got a contrast cast on, and it is just the cast on, twisted rib, slip stitch heel, and then just a wedge toe. So it's a plain vanilla socks, and I do my socks on 2.5mm needles and on a 60 stitch count. So that's sock one. And last week I was there on sock 2, and I have turned the heel, I have done the foot, and I am literally about to put the toe on. So hopefully this will be an FO by next week and I can add that to my Christmas box of socks. Although technically I'm not sure it should go in my Christmas box of socks. I'm not sure whether it's a Christmas one or not, but in my head it is. So, because it was a Christmas Eve cast on box, I'm going, it's Christmas. And it's really pretty, I really like it. So that's my sock whip this week. I have only worked on one pair of socks. My Soul Sister socks I haven't actually worked on this week. I did get them out to work on them, but got distracted by gnomes again and didn't actually work on them. So I've only worked on that one. So yeah, so that is day 1 socks. So day 2 is shawl day, and my first one is hanging out in this project bag, which is Bags by Donna, and is an American bag maker, and it came in my Knit Style Yarns advent calendar last year. It's so pretty, so Christmassy. And this is the Layer Cake Cow, which is a pattern by Charlie Button, who is the yarn ambassador, and a pattern that she wrote for the retreat I was on a couple of weekends ago with Lay Family Yarn. And apparently I have stopped in the middle of a round. Hold on, just let me sort that out, otherwise that stitch marker is going to fall out. That's professional of me, isn't it? Whoops, sorry. Let's pop that back in. Okay, so the last time you saw this, it was where that candy cane was, just there. And I have done a few more sections. It's a very quick knit, I really like it. I'm unfortunately reacting to the Siri alpaca, which I was hoping I wouldn't, because I do react to mohair. So I don't know whether I'm going to be able to wear this or not. So it might go to a friend. And this is yarn I dyed at the retreat. So that's my Merino 4-ply. It's really pretty. I was going for my logo in a ball. That's what I had in my head. And then that is the Siri that I dyed to go with it. Pink, of course, because I'm such a pink girl. I do like my pink. And yeah, I really like it. I mean, I hope I can wear it. It'll be really good if I can. But it's very pretty, very simple. I'm not far off getting that finished either, so that could be an FO by next week. Be amazing if it was. However, I've got a lot of Christmas prep to do this coming week, so maybe not too much time to knit, unfortunately. That would, yeah, that makes me sad. Other things to do other than knitting. So that's the first one. And the second one, which I'm really trying to steam through because I really want this as a finished object. So this got the most love this week, and that's in my Sherry Iris Autumn Treasures bag. And it is my Litmus Cowl. Right, so this is a set by Sherry Iris that came with 10 minis and a main skein, and this is what I've got left of the main skein at the moment. This is really pretty, very pretty. And I am making the Litmus Cowl, which is a pattern by Amy Florence of the Stranded podcast. And I'm doing mine with my Autumn Treasures mini set. Now that's where I was last week. So I've put in 2 minis and I'm on another section, and it's getting really long now. It's that's the first one. So that's colour 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and then I've used the main colour in between them all. So I'm going up the next one, and I've done colour 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that was colour 6. So I'm nearly done. I'm nearly done this, and I can't wait to wear it, to be honest. So I really want to get this finished. This is another one I really want to work on, but I think it's got a couple more weeks work on it. And also there's going to be, I have many advents, too many advents. I'm very spoiled, and I'm thinking there's probably going to be an advent cast on as well amongst all this. I would like another Land of Sweets cowl. So I don't know, I would really love to get that done by the 1st. It's not going to happen. It's so pretty, isn't it? I really do like it. I love Sherry Iris's yarn. I love Sherry Iris. She has an amazing, I think she calls it a vloggy pod or a poddy vlog, vloggy pod. So go check that out. She's not been active recently, but I know she's been up to her ears in winter treasure boxes and our advents. So I think that's arriving today. I'm really excited. So I'm really pleased about that. But yeah, that's my living in my bag, my Autumn Treasures bag. My Sherry Iris is beautifully embroidered. Look at that, isn't that lovely? Love that. So yeah, that's my other shawl whip. So that's the end of day 2. So day 3 is garment day, and that is living in my giant bag, which was the 12 Days of Christmas bag from Elm Tree Yarns last year, which I really like. It's really pretty. And I am doing the Ingrid sweater by Isabel Kramer, which is a colourwork sweater. I believe Isabel uses 6 colours. I've only used 5. I have modified it slightly because I did not want to buy any more yarn. I'm using yarn from Stash from this, and I'm using very old yarn from Stash. I am using Sublime Baby Cashmere Merino Silk DK. That's the pink in the colourwork. And oh, this is the sweater. I have managed to split the sleeves off now, and I am going round and round on the body. Now I didn't get too much done on that this time round. Literally only got a couple of rounds done. This was on Tuesday, which is my guiding day, and also I did guides and rainbows this week, so I did back to back, so I literally didn't get much time to knit on this at all. I just did a couple of rounds, but I love it. It's a beautiful colourwork sweater. That's the wrong way round, let's try it that way round. And then it has short row shaping at the back, and yeah, just colourwork. And this yarn has actually taken colourwork a lot better than I thought it would. I didn't think it was going to work, so I swatched first, but it has. It's worked beautifully. I would like to get that done by Christmas. I'm not going to specify of which year. So fairly certain it's not going to be Christmas this year. Maybe I should work on it over Christmas. So yeah, that's day 3, garment day, and that is the Ingrid sweater by Isabel Kramer. So day 4 is crochet day, and that's hanging out in my busy pottering snowman bag that jingles, which is quite funny because our cats have got bells on as well. So it's either, when I'm using this, it's either me or a cat. Now I got inspired by everybody doing granny stripe blankets, and I can't do a granny stripe blanket because I can't crochet in a straight line. Sorry, I'll put that down and stop jingling. I can't crochet in a straight line. When I try to crochet in a straight line, it goes like that. I don't know what I do wrong. I'm a self-taught crocheter, so that's probably the first place where I went wrong, but it ends up as that sort of shape as opposed to that shape. But what I can do is granny squares. So I have started a granny square, and to be honest, I don't think I've done an awful lot more than I showed last week. I think I've done one round more. So it's growing slowly but surely. This was, when was this? Oh, this was last Thursday. I had a nightmare recording the podcast, and then I did brownies in the evening, and I really didn't get much done on this at all. But yes, that's my granny square. That I've just joined in, that's the word I was looking for, a new magic knot ball. This is only a tiny one, and then I have got this one to go in next, which actually is leftovers from all my advent swaps that I've done. So I have taken what I have left over, I've wound off 10 grams, and then I've wound off 5 grams, and then if I have any left, it's gone in this magic knot ball. So some of these repeats are 4 grams and some of them are like 1, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes out. I love it. I'm loving working on it. I'm just not getting time, which I think is probably a cry of all crafters this time of the year, and obviously I'm about to make it a lot worse by doing Vlogmas too. That'll be fun. Nothing like giving myself even more work to do, but I love Vlogmas. Vlogmas was where I started last year, so I'm really looking forward to doing Vlogmas again this year. So anyway, that's probably enough of Vlogmas, and you know, that's the granny square, and that's my crochet at the moment. I'm really sorry, I don't know whose hook this is. If you know, can you let me know? I know I bought it from Exzel, but I've been looking back on my history and it doesn't go back far enough. It's really pretty. I bought 2 at the time. I've bought another one, but I don't know when my other one's gone. I think I may have gifted it to a friend. But it's a lovely hook, and I think it's a 3.5mm, which is why I was trying to look it up, because I couldn't remember what it was. It's either 3.5 or 4, but I think it's a 3.5 because I don't think that's loose enough for it to be a 4. I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to having time and working on these projects. I'm off between Christmas and New Year, so if all else fails, that's going to be fun. So that is day 4, crochet day. So day 5 is mystery blanket day. And it became a bit more of a mystery for me this week, which I will explain in a minute. Now, mystery blanket day is a knit along that runs for a year, that's run by the lovely Debbie Abrahams. It comes as a kit, and everything you need is in the kit, and she releases clues, if you like, each month for you to be able to knit the blanket. Now that's a mystery blanket behind me there. That is 2009's, I believe, and it's called Arabian Nights. And if you look online, if you search Debbie Abraham's mystery blanket, you will find it, and there's loads of them. And I'm currently working on 2019's. I've got 2017 and 2019 on the go. Haven't started 2018 yet. As you can tell, I'm really good about sticking along with it. But I did finish that one this year. That one did get finished this year. However, I went to do the mystery blanket last night. I didn't have much time, but I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll try and get a square started. And I couldn't find it. I could not find it anywhere. We've had a big rejig around, which is why my backdrop's a bit different, because next week you'll see the Christmas tree. We're putting that up later on today. And I just couldn't find it. And I looked in all the boxes I'd taken upstairs. I just couldn't find it anywhere. And then as I was going to bed last night, I spotted it, and it's literally just there. It's just, you can't see it, but on just out of frame is a bookcase. And sitting on top of the bookcase is the mystery blanket. And I must have looked there 7 or 8 times and didn't see it. I think it's just a sign I'm very tired at the moment. very tired and a little bit stressed. So I have nothing to show for Mystery Blanket, but I know the lovely Lorraine of Eleanor's Crafts, and she has a podcast too, so please go check her out, was asking some questions about it. So yes, it runs every year, and it is quite expensive because it's a kit, but it's worth it. They're so much fun to do, and they're really pretty, and it's a very good way of building up your skill set because there's so much in it. There's cables, there's bobbles, there's intarsia, there's fair art, there's beading. It's just so much fun to do, but it's just a tiny little square, so it's not like it's daunting. You just look at it a square at a time, and there's different methods of joining the squares, so you do them as strips and then you sew your strips together, so it's not you don't have to keep sewing loads of bits together. So yeah, it's really good fun, and I'm glad I have now found my 2019 one so I can work on it again. So that's day 5, Mystery Blanket Day. Day 6 is Scrappy Project Day, and although I have many scrappy projects, I am actually working on gnomes at the moment, which is a pattern by Sarah Scr1tno, and is the Never Not Gnoming pattern. I'll put it down below because I'm sure I'm saying her name wrong. I'm really sorry, Sarah. Not that you'll watch this, but just in case. And that's living in my beautiful bag by Donna's Designs, and it has got reindeer on it. Again, it's one from last Christmas. And this is the little gnomes. Aren't they cute? I have 2 behind me. There is Forest on the end. That way. Yeah, okay, I can't do that. Forest is on the end by the toadstool, and then Ed is somewhere else. Where's Ed? Oh, Ed's the other side of the toadstool. So Ed is pink and Forest is the Christmas one with a bell on his head. And I have cast on a new one. And I didn't get very far, but I did get a hat done. So this is going to be a larger one. I'm not sure this hat's supposed to be this long. I think I went a bit wrong. I was chatting and I think I miscounted rows. But even so, it's really great. And that is a little stitch marker from So Sweet Violet that comes in a little glass jar. Oh, it's so pretty. I just thought, oh, I'll use it on my gnome. So that's my gnome hat. So that's as far as I've got. But I have to say, I absolutely am adoring making these gnomes, and had I realised, I would have made little ones for all my guides and brownies, and probably the rainbows too, bearing in mind that I wouldn't leave them out. So what I might do come the new year is try and make like one a week for them if I can, if they don't take me too long. Maybe that's what I should take to Burma with me, and knit an army of gnomes. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Getting them back through customs would be interesting. So that's day 6, Scrappy Project Day. Right. So that is the end of my rolling rotation of whips. That's all 6 days. The only other project I work on a daily basis now is my cozy memory blanket, and I work on that. I do a square every day. And you can imagine by the time you hit 365 squares, you have got quite a big blanket. You also haven't got a square blanket, just saying, so you do have to do a few more than 365, which you will see the beginning of next year when I'm working on 2 simultaneously. So this is 2019's one. Okay, let's go on the floor. And it is massive. It's very big now. I did square it off last week. I meant to take some video footage, then it started raining, so I couldn't do it outside, and I didn't want to put it on the floor in here because it would have got trodden on by dirty pawed cats and dog, so I didn't get round to doing it. But it's huge. And right, I knew we'd get there eventually. These are the squares I worked on this week. So anyway, these are all from an advent calendar by Legacy Fibre Arts. And this was either last year or the year before. I think it was the year before. It's so pretty. So that's, I'm getting there. And I haven't done today's, which is why it threw me that there was 7 there, because there should only be 6. But I've got the yarn down with me so that I can do it whilst I'm editing. because I had a really bad night last night and woke up really late this morning. So I didn't have time to sit there and do any of my my square this morning, but I will get that done later. So that's my Cozy Memory blanket, and it lives in this giant blanket bag by Anne of Busy Pottering. Now Anne's bags are absolutely amazing, and if you've got a moment, go check out her store on Etsy and her Instagram. And she very kindly made this one for me last Christmas because my blanket was outgrowing most standard size bags, which, as you can imagine, by this time of the year, if you're doing a square a day, is getting quite big. So it was just beginning to outgrow the bag it was in, and I was able to pop it in this one this Christmas. It's been brilliant. So I love this bag. Again, reindeer. Got a bit of a thing about reindeer. And the back's got reindeer on as well. So do go check out her bag shop. She is amazing. And that's it for my Cozy Memory blanket. So normally this is my any other craft section. It's normally spinning, occasionally it's sewing, but don't get too attached to that one. That didn't work out very well for me last time. But because it's Christmas and I'm a guide leader, we're doing crafts. And this is what we did at Guides. First of all, we did a little gingerbread house. This is my one. I really like it. Oh, we're gonna spin, are we? So yeah, there's a little gingerbread house. I'm not the greatest artist, but I was actually quite pleased about how this came out. Yeah, very much enjoyed doing that. So that's a little gingerbread house, and then we also made little snow globes, all decorations, and these are actually made of glass. And they've got snow inside, and theoretically now you're supposed to be able to shake it. It's supposed to be a snow globe. So that was my one. I chose a post box, and then this one my daughter Katie did, which I love. It's got a snowman and it's got a telephone box in hers with the little tree. I'm not going to shake hers upside down because if anything happens, I don't want it to be my fault. But they're really effective, aren't they? I really like them. They were a good craft to do, and the girls were amazing. Some of the girls are such great artists, and their little ones of these were absolutely stunning. But I was really pleased with that one, to be honest. So that's what we did at Guides. And that's it. I haven't got any spinning. I will hopefully get spinning during Vlogmas. That's my idea. I need to get my wheel moved. That's my main problem at the moment, is I can't use it where it is. I need to move my wheel probably behind me here, but I'm not sure how that'll work with the setup. It might be a case of that no longer exists and it'll just be my spinning chair behind me and my wheel. And then there, on this bit here, will be a Christmas tree, because that's the only place it can go. So the Christmas tree has to go there. But we'll find next week. It'll be a new work in progress, I think, with the podcast. So that's it for other crafts. So next up, I have acquisitions, happy mail, things that snuck into the house when I wasn't watching. I have a little bit of a pile, to be honest. I'm going to start with this one first. This is a lovely project bag by an amazing new friend that I've made. Her name is Mary, and she's Mary and the Mutts on Instagram, and she is a bag maker, a natural yarn dyer, and a designer. She's the full package, bless her, and all round actually amazing human being. She's so sweet. I had the best time on the retreat with her. She was lovely, absolutely lovely, and that's one of the things that came out of the retreat, was making fantastic new friends, and she was definitely one of them. And she put up some Christmas bags, and she's got a new pattern out as well. So I decided I was going to buy a new bag, her pattern and her yarn to go with it, and placed an order. Now, I adore camper vans. In fact, if you look in some of my previous episodes, you'll see my camper van cushions behind you. So how you could resist a camper van with a Christmas tree on the roof? Isn't that lovely? Absolutely amazing. Really love that. And the light, again, it's got a bell. And the lining in this is just so pretty. It's a lovely, well-made, beautiful bag. I absolutely adore it. And it's Mary's Makery is her shop. I will link it in the show notes. A word on show notes. I do have show notes, you just have to wait a little while for them to appear. There are some missing episode show notes. I'm not going back to do those ones, but last week's has got show notes and this week's will have show notes when I get around to doing them. My thing with show notes is most people write the show notes and then do the show. I do the show and then I'll go back and watch it and go, oh, that's what I talked about, because I've had a few times where I've written show notes and then realised I haven't talked about it at all. So I find this way is a lot easier. So yeah, so that's her label, Mary's Makery. And the pattern is called a Knit in the Air shawl. And I got a hard copy with the kit. And I saw Mary wearing this at the retreat and fell in love with it. It's so pretty. And this again is her natural dyed yarn. And I ordered the kit and it's 2 strands of fingering weight held together, isn't it, Mary? Yes. So I've got 2 strands, I've got 2 colours. It's going to be so pretty, isn't it? I've got this buttery yellow and this beautiful spring green that does not want to stay done up. Mary, your skein is misbehaving. I'm going to hold them separately at the moment. So there's this buttery green. Now this was dyed with onions and it's a merino cashmere nylon, so you can imagine how soft it is. It's beautiful. I think that's why it keeps undressing itself. And then this buttery yellow, which is dyed with buddleia. So I'm going to hold together a strand of each and make the shawl. And there were a few other little treats in there. I had a little mini, which is gorgeous, so pretty. A little soap, which smells amazing. And there was definitely, I can say there was definitely some chocolate there somewhere and I hadn't eaten it. I'm saving this for the weekend. So thank you so much, Mary. Yeah, how lovely is this? And this has all come from, let me show you her label, being on the retreat and making a new friend and admiring someone's shawl and thinking, yeah, I really want to make that. So do go check her out her Instagram, check out her shop. So she's Mary's Makery, and I will link it in the show notes, but you will have to wait a couple of days for the show notes. So if you want to check it out before then, go search her. But isn't that pretty? So that was the first thing. I'm going to be very careful and put all this back, otherwise it will go missing. I am making a concerted effort not to make too much of a mess when I podcast, because then it ends up sitting around for 2 days before I have a chance to tidy it up. Now all that I showed you, let's just fit back in that bag. It's a good size bag, it's going to be perfect for the shawl. So that's that one. Then if you saw my Instagram at the weekend, you will know that I managed to snag a Sherry Iris update. And I adore Sherry's yarn, I adore Sherry, and this is her Christmas colourways, and this is Winter Wonderland. Look at that. This literally makes me want to just stop everything I'm knitting and cast on socks, because I love Sherry's yarn so much. So pretty. And the artwork. I'm fairly certain there is a print that came with this. Might look that out in a moment. If there was a print, how delightful is that? Now Sherry works with her son and he is an artist, but so Sherry, and I'm not sure which one of the two of them's painted this, but isn't that an amazing What a lovely, lovely treat to get in with a parcel. Absolutely love it. Now this is going to go in my journal, which I will show you during Vlogmas. I will show you my journal during Vlogmas. So you get a little sheet that goes with it, and it tells you all about the inspiration for the yarn. It is definitely the complete package when you buy anything from Cherry. So that's the yarn, and then I think it was this one. Yeah, I think that's and you get a little lavender bag with it. I think it's this one that came with that. I've got two, so it's either this one or the next one I'm going to show. Isn't it lovely? It's got little stars on it. So pretty. And it's just, yeah, absolutely in love with this yarn. And then this was the other one, which is Christmas Sparkle. And again, it's absolutely beautiful. Opening Cherry's parcels is literally like having Christmas every day. It's so pretty. And again, I had a lavender bag. This one's got a pink back. And a little information sheet. So, so lovely. So pretty. So yes, that was my Sherry Iris. So my lovely friend Kelly also updated her shop. Kelly is the dyer behind Lay Family Yarn, along with her husband Nick. And this is Butterfly Blush, which I absolutely fell in love with when I saw it on the website. I'm not actually sure this was even part of the update, or whether it was just I noticed it because I was looking because of the update. It's so pretty. Really pretty. And this was part of the update. Some tonal mini skeins. Now I'm in desperate need of heels, toes and cuffs mini skeins, so that was perfect, and that's exactly what these are going to be. They're going to go for heels, toes and cuffs, but they are very pretty. There's 12 of them. So if you want to do yourself a 12 days of Christmas, go snag one of these. Be ideal. Get someone else to wrap them up for you. Yeah, they're so pretty. So that's my Lay Family Yarn one. And last but not least, I had an order from Hedgerow Yarns. I also had some minis, but they seem to have gone for a little walkabout. But I got 2 skeins of this. And this is Glacier, which is beautiful DK. And it's 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere. So it's as soft as butter. And the new knit vent pattern came out today, or patterns came out today. I am pleased to say they both require DK, and it's a hat and mittens, so I know exactly what this is going to be, and I will probably cast these on quite quickly. I'm just not too sure which segment I'm going to cast them onto. So normally my crochet day is used to be called Small Items Day, and then I stopped doing small items and just did crochet instead, so I renamed it. So I'm not quite sure I'm going to put the hat and mitts in, but I will get them in somewhere because I really need a hat for walking the dog now. So this is actually going up a little bit in the priority list. It's so pretty. So that is it from me for acquisitions. I have got another acquisition. I have got a Christmassy one, but there is a complete story behind it. It's from a lovely maker called Woolly Goodness, who Jenny is a friend of mine, and I love her yarn. And I'm going to explain the story and show the products in Vlogmas because it's a very Christmassy story. So I look forward to sharing that with you. Hopefully we'll do that on the first one, because to be honest, I want to start using them. So I will explain all that at the time. So that's it for the knitting content. It's just really everything that's been happening to me this last couple of weeks. We are gearing up for Christmas in my household at the moment. Normally I try and put the decks up the first weekend in December. December the 1st being Sunday makes that slightly more complicated. And also all of our decorations are in the loft. I am not one for a ladder, so I need someone to get them down for me, and which means I have to decorate my house when I have people here to give me a hand. That turns out to be today and tomorrow. So I am now going to be decorating on the 28th and 29th, which is very early for me, but I'd rather be able to do it in little bites and get it done than it taking me all day Sunday and then having to crash into work on Monday. So that's what's happening. So that's what's happening with the house. I am doing Vlogmas, if you hadn't gathered by the rest of this podcast. I will drop day one on Sunday, which means I will probably edit and record on Saturday because I will have put the decorations up. So, you know, it makes sense, doesn't it, really? I do understand that Vlogmas isn't everybody's cup of tea, so I will try and keep the podcast going as well. They may be shorter, they may not. It's me, I chat for England. Sit here just talking to myself, it's great. I record on a Thursday morning because normally I'm the only one in the house, or it's me and my youngest daughter Meg, and she tends to have a lie-in on Thursday morning, so it's normally quite quiet, and we have done quite well today with not getting interrupted, so it's a good point. But I do like to upload on a Sunday because everybody's used to me putting the videos out on a Sunday, so this will go out on Sunday even though it's recorded on Thursday. So if occasionally you see something me post up a finished object that is actually still a work in progress, that's why. I like confusing people. I confuse myself sometimes. So that's what's going on with Vlogmas. As I said, there will be a competition. Please watch the first Vlogmas if you want to find out what that is. I am winding down with my guiding commitments. Next week is the last of all three of Rainbows, Brownies and Guides. Rainbows, I think, are making crafts. Brownies, I don't know. That's not good because that's my section. I think we're doing crafts too. I think we're making things too. And then Guides have a party. So that'll be next week. And then at the end of that week we'll take them to see the local panto. So that's next week. It's going to be quite a nice week, to be honest. I've got brownies tonight. We are making beeswax wraps. So if I get to make one myself, I'll have that to show next week, which is quite exciting. So while we're doing the beeswax wraps with kind of a couple of them on their own, we will then have the rest of them going to be making Christmas cards. It should be quite a nice meeting tonight, nice and easy. Well, as nice and easy as 7, 8, 9-year-old girls and a hot iron can be. Could be fun. Oh dear. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then this weekend is literally going to be decorating the house and getting as much of that done as I can, and as much of the wrapping done as I can. Now we're having a very much a not a present-free Christmas, but certainly a dialed down Christmas, and I have got a few gifts to wrap but not too many, so I'm going to try and get those done at the weekend, and yeah, and set up recording Vlogmas. I cannot wait, it's going to be so exciting. I have a few advents to share. I have quite a few advents to share, to be fair, more than last year, and I think I had 5 last year. Not good. That's not to mention the fact I've done swaps with 2 friends. I've got my 5 commercials and my 2 friends, so it's a ridiculous amount. But I'm looking forward to it. It should be good fun. Right, I'm going. My 10 minutes will be actually just opening advent calendars because I've got a coffee and a tea one to do too. So that'll be fun. But yeah, we have got a few exciting things planned during Vlogmas. Yeah, this week gone past has been okay. It's been a very, very, very busy week because I haven't had much time to knit. It's just been one of those weeks where everything that could go wrong did, including our boiler decided to pack up on Monday morning, I think it was, that we got up to that. Monday or Sunday, Saturday, no, Monday or Tuesday morning, one of the two. And no idea what was wrong with it, but I turned it all off let it rest for a while I was at work, came home, turned it all back on again, it worked fine. So obviously it just needed a rest. The weather has been truly awful. I don't know what it's been like in different parts of the UK, but certainly here in the southeast it has been so wet. We've had lots of flooding, lots of localised flooding, and there is a dip between where I live and work, and trying to get through that dip is just hysterical because it's really deep now. So I'm sort of leaving work going, oh, am I going to be able to get home? Am I going to get through the dip, or am I going to have to go the very long way round? There is another way round, but it is very long, and it also goes past 2 schools, so it's also very busy at 4 o'clock as well. So yeah, it's been really wet. Today's a very grey day. I'm hoping my lighting is a bit better today, because what you might have noticed is there is not a standard lamp there. That is because it's right there next to me, and it's got a natural daylight bulb in it. So I thought I'd give that a go to see whether that works better for lighting with the overheads. But I do need to get my studio lights down. That would be useful. I need somebody to help me with that, and I've never got anybody around when I think of it. Right, I think that's it. I think I've rambled long enough. I hope you all have a great week wherever you are. Take care, and I will see you next week, and possibly at the weekend if you watch my Vlogmas.